Take a look at your closet. What if every shirt you owned had to be stitched by hand, and each one took an entire day to make? Would you have as many clothes as you do now? Would those clothes have all the buttons, zippers, and embellishments your clothes have? Hello, my name is Amber Harris, and today I'm going to present to you the history of the sewing machine. For tens of thousands of years, the only way to join fabric together to make clothing, tents, or other textile goods was a needle and a thread. In fact, the oldest needle known was discovered in 2016 in a cave used by the ancient Denisovan people. They were a hominin species that lived before humans. This needle was 50,000 years old and was made of bird bone. Other ancient sewing needles have been found that were made of wood, antlers, fish bones, shell, thorns, and metals. But for tens of thousands of years, sewing technology didn't change much. You had to push a needle through the cloth attached to the thread and then turn it around and push it back up the other way. This all had to be done by hand. It was a painstaking process. Even professionally trained tailors would take 10 hours to complete one shirt. It wasn't until the first industrial revolution that humans created a way to make it easier to sew. The sewing revolution began with Thomas Saint, an English inventor who created a machine that could sew through leather and canvas in 1790. It used a chain stitch method, using one thread that was pushed through the fabric with the needle and then fastened to itself on the underside before being brought back up. This is similar to crocheting. The problem with the chain stitch method is that it unravels very easily. There's no evidence that there was a working model of this machine, just a patent. Other inventors also worked on creating mechanical machines at the time. Thomas Stone, James Henderson, John Duncan, Joseph Mattersberger, Walter Hunt, and Bartholomew de Monnier all created machines. Elias Howe is credited with having the first sewing machine patent in the United States. He invented a machine in 1846. He improved on the design by creating a lock stitch instead of a chain stitch. This used two threads that raveled together. It was more durable because it didn't unravel as easily. His machine also had an automatic feed that propelled the fabric forward, eliminating the need to constantly move the fabric by hand. Best of all, Howe's machine could stitch 250 to 600 stitches per minute. Even skilled tailors at the time could only do about 100 stitches per minute by hand. The machine created a much more even and sturdy stitch. Howe struggled to market and sell his machine. He left the country to find investors that would help him develop it. When he returned to the United States, he found that there were many companies infringing on his patent. After winning a lengthy court battle, Howe decided to share his patent with several companies, but required a $5 licensing fee for each machine sold in the United States until his patent was up. This actually saved Howe from having to develop the machine into something that he could market and sell. With the invention and distribution of the sewing machine, quality of life improved for people in the United States. Clothing was now more affordable, durable, and accessible. The sewing machine expanded the clothing industry and provided more job opportunities for women. However, sewing machines were still unattainable for most households because of their prohibitive cost. The Singer Company is one of the companies that Howe shared his patent with, and is still a popular sewing machine manufacturer today. They're known for their durable and good quality machines. But perhaps their biggest contribution to the sewing machine was making it more accessible to even low-income families. In 1856, Singer began making home sewing machines. These machines cost $100, which in today's money would be $2,700. But thanks to interchangeable parts and assembly lines, the Singer Company was able to get the cost down to just $10 per machine, making it affordable for most households. The other innovation that the Singer Company made was that they were one of the first companies to offer financing for machines. This made it so that people could spread the payment out over installments and afford a machine. This invention was actually pivotal in creating the middle class. By making the sewing machine more affordable, women could take on sewing jobs for additional income from home. Middle-class families could afford more clothing, and thanks to paper patterns, women could create fashionable clothing for their families, reducing the visual disparity between the classes. In 1921, Singer again revolutionized the sewing industry by creating the portable electric sewing machine. The electric sewing machine was faster and even more efficient. It required less physical exertion and was easier to control. This innovation again drastically reduced the time needed to make a piece of clothing, which was good for industry as well as private clothing production. Computerized sewing machines came about in the 1970s. One of the great innovations that came along with this was that instead of one straight stitch, the machine could be programmed with thousands of different stitches. Some modern machines are designed specifically for interlocking stitches for clothing construction, some for embroidery, and some for quilting and apparel sewing. There are long arm machines that can be programmed to quilt an entire king-size quilt. Some machines can even interface with your laptop to program intricate embroidery designs. My current sewing machine is a modern engineering marvel. It has the ability to do over 1,300 different stitches. It has 4 fonts for doing its own embroidery. It goes 900 stitches per minute. It has a touch screen with a color display that shows me how to take care of the machine, how to perform maintenance, and even tutorials on other things. It's amazing. But my favorite feature has to be the automatic thread cutter. It's the simple conveniences that make sewing on these modern machines so much fun. The cost of commercial clothing manufacturing is far lower today than sewing at home, making it so the art of making your own clothing and other textile goods is more of a hobby than a way of life, despite machines being easier and more fun to use than ever before. Good sewing machines are cost prohibitive, and fabric sold at retail locations is very expensive. We still see hobbyists sewing, but when an item costs double or triple the amount to make at home as it does to buy at a store or online, most people will choose to shop. In the future, I predict that sewing machines will become more and more automated, especially in industrial applications. This will require less skill to operate the machines. Robots may even be able to do the job. Home sewing will become less and less frequent, and the demand for machines will go down. People will use home machines less. The technology growth for home machines may suffer as a result of less demand. Hand sewing with a needle and thread was tedious, time-consuming, and difficult. The invention of the sewing machine helped to make clothing more accessible. It also enhanced the clothing industry, providing jobs and contributing to the creation of the middle class. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation on the sewing machine, an important invention in US history.